It's almost here. Halloweek 6 is nearly upon us, and will bring hours upon hours of spooky games to a Twitch stream near you. If this is your first Halloweek, you're in for a treat, because I love horror games, I love Halloween, I love things that aren't horror but are just tangentially related, that have that spooky aesthetic. Halloweek is a week-long celebration of all of those things, lasting from October 24th until the clock strikes midnight, going into Halloween. I'll go live on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/scribed, each night from 8 p.m. EST until midnight, sampling a different horror game each hour. So what are we playing this year? As always, I have curated what I hope will be an incredible lineup. Before we get into the specifics, I want to take a quick second to thank Hobo Vampire in the Discord for the amazing work they did on this splash screen that you're seeing now. It is just gorgeous. It's everything I could have hoped for when I commissioned them, and they turned it around so fast. I appreciate the hell out of them for making this. It's amazing. And if you want to commission something this awesome, there is a link to their Twitter with their commission chart in the description. Alright, so starting with day 1 on October 24th, we have Creeks by Amanita, the developers who made Machinarium. Then there's the promising Junji Ito-inspired horror roguelike World of Horror, and then Space Beast Terror Fright, which I think that name says everything that we need to know about it. And we cap the night off with the remake of Resident Evil 3 that came out earlier this year. On Sunday the 25th, we have Anatomy, which is a small cult hit from the horror underground that has been widely praised for a long time. Then it's Silent Hill the Arcade, which I finally got working. It's a Silent Hill light gun game, and I played like 5 minutes of it just to test to make sure it works, and it's 1, an original story set in Silent Hill, and 2, kind of fun. After that, it's on to A Medieval, which is a throwback to first-person shooters like Hexen, and we'll end that night with Carrion, which is like John Carpenter's The Thing, except you are the thing. Then on Monday the 26th, we're gonna do things a little bit differently. Instead of sampling one game every hour for 4 hours, we're dedicating the whole night to playing a lot of tiny horror games, including games from the Dread X collection, The Haunted Disc, September 1999, To Dawn and Back, Local Host, The Night That Speaks, Close Your Eyes, I'm Scared, and Katanga River of Souls. Many of these can be completed in under an hour, so we're just going to play as many of them as we can between the hours of 8 p.m. EST and midnight. And for Tuesday the 27th, there's Distrust, which is our second overtly The Thing-inspired game of Halloweek 6. And after that, we've got Fatal Frame 2 and Simulacra 2. Simulacra 2 is the sequel to a game that we played a little bit last year. It was the game taking place on somebody's found cell phone. And then the night is going to end with Luigi's Mansion 3, which missed the cutoff last year because it came out on Halloween itself, so I couldn't include it on the schedule. On Wednesday the 28th, we're starting with Stories Untold, the predecessor to Observation, which I LP'd earlier this year. After that, we've got Bulb Boy, whose aesthetic alone is enough to grab me, and Bullets Per Minute, similar to A Medieval, I think, but it's also a rhythm game. And finally, Paradise Killer, a macabre detective game. Next, Thursday the 29th is the penultimate day, with the side-scrolling Overwhelm, made of Scare, which is based off of Welsh folklore, and then there's a double feature of Souls-likes with Hellpoint and Mortal Shell. And our final day of Halloweek is the 30th. It'll dovetail into Halloween morning, ending on the witching hour, and it's going to kick off with Inmost, a beautifully somber-looking pixel art game, Immure, which is likewise a side-scroller, but more explicitly, psychological horror. And then Vigil the Longest Night will continue that trend of side-scrollers. And finally, the last game of this year's Halloweek will be Frictional's upcoming release, a sequel to Amnesia The Dark Descent called Amnesia Rebirth. So as always, I hope you'll tune in to twitch.tv/scribed, starting on October 24th through the 30th for Halloween 6 and over 30 spooky games. Thank you all for watching, take it easy, have a good one, I'll see you then.